Hi, I'm John Fischetti. It's good to see all of you, and I've been asked a lot about how to describe the difference between schools of the past and schools of the future. We'll call those old school and new school, and we're going to particularly focus on the designs for teaching and learning in this little demonstration using the light board here today. So old school, where most of us have come from, the first major distinction of old school is that they are teacher-centered. Teacher-centeredness is the opportunity for schools to really be focused on the behaviors of teachers, the plans that they have, and the opportunities for teachers to talk and for students to listen. That leads to students being passive. So teacher-centered and passivity are two of the most important features of old school that most of us have come from. They're very compliance-based and rules-based. Think of how much of your schooling was based on teachers telling us what to do, how to do it, and the rules that follow from that. Based on sameness, which I'll call equality, which means that pretty much each of us got the same dose of teaching and learning, regardless of our learning needs, on a particular day, a particular week, or maybe across our whole sense of schooling. And I'll call the ultimate metaphor for that success for some, because the assessment schemes were really about sorting. Assessment for sorting. Think about that. Have you thought about the fact that assessment primarily rates and ranks, creates a top 30%, an upper and lower band, and that leads to success for some. So old school is teacher-centered, passive, compliance-based, rules-based, equality-based, assessment for sorting, leading to success for some. Now, there was a time in Australia and the rest of the world where that was fine if 30% of us were really high achieving in school. There was plenty to do if actually you didn't do as well in school. But fortunately or unfortunately, we're now in a different era where there isn't much to do if you're under or uneducated. And the tendency now is to think about school designs that are a little bit different, and we'll call those new school. New school, unlike old school, is learner-focused. It's based on passion of students. Can you see the difference already? Based on personalization rather than standardization. Based on fairness. And an equity mindset. Giving every child what they need when they need it. And assessment for and as learning. So assessment isn't a separate thing we do at the end on a Friday when we have a quiz. Assessment is part of the learning process. And that would lead to our challenge in the new school paradigm of success for all. So can you see the difference? If old school is teacher-centered and passive and compliance and rules-based about sameness, equality, and sorting, some of us did okay in that. In new school, it's about learner-focused, passion-based, personalized, fair, or equitable, and assessment that drives those things, and success for all of us. So that's where we're heading. Now, it's a very imperfect process, and it's not as if we're there yet, and it's not as if everything in old school is wrong. There's wonderful pedagogies and lots of examples of great success, but we've got to agree that we're heading toward this goal and this direction for us to really be ready to adopt some of these practices. Because this kind of model of new school is actually about co-constructing learners, with our learners, their future. Not just telling them to follow a syllabus straight through and having tests. This whole new way of doing business is a very different kind of school, for which we need a very different kind of teacher. So in the paradigm shift from old to new, you see that this is a kind of school where young people go to be inspired and excited and work with adults to really discover themselves. And this is a school where young people go to watch their teachers work. That's the change. That's my big synthesis of the direction we're going. And as we work together on these big complex issues, I look forward to helping you think about the kinds of learning design and school design that actually we can use to get education right for every child. Thanks. Look forward to working with you.